Young ladies and gentlemen, good morning or good evening to all of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Éveil des Consciences platform. In international news, North Korean President Kim Jong-un has just taken his determination against Israel to another level, showing his latest and most vocal opposition to Israel. This, of course, goes beyond North Korea's long-standing tradition and clearly implies unwavering and undeniable support for the cause for Iran, I should say. In addition to providing substantial and comprehensive material support to Iran across all conceivable fronts, and in addition to Kim Jong-un unequivocally declaring that North Korea would steadfastly stand by Iran in absolutely everything, he has just recently signed a momentous decree enacting a profoundly strict and far-reaching new law against his own populace, specifically concerning the sovereign state of Israel. You know, Kim Jong-un doesn't beat around the bush. This whole business about human rights, this business about whatever. Anything that concerns the international community is not his problem. He really doesn't care. He does whatever he wants on his territory, in his empire. He enforces his own law in the same way the international community thinks it's good to enforce the law when it suits them and bad to enforce it when it doesn't. Kim Jong-un does the same thing at home and then they complain. It hurts them. But this time, Kim Jong-un's decision is very, very harsh, extremely harsh. This has drawn a lot of criticism from many observers who believe that Kim Jong-un is violating human rights. What is the decision? In this video conference, this is the decree we are going to discuss. And before we continue, I ask you to share this video conference as much as possible. Give it lots of likes and always leave your feedback in the comments. And if this is your first time coming across my video conferences, please subscribe. Let's dive deeper. So North Korea has recently strengthened its anti-Israeli stance. An anti-Israeli stance that is justified by the adoption of a decree. And this decree, there we go, we had a brief interruption. So this anti-Israeli stance is fully justified by the official adoption of a decree that explicitly bans, the active promotion of Zionism. That is to say, from this point forward in North Korea, it is strictly forbidden to promote Zionism or to speak positively about the state of Israel. If you do, it's the death penalty. That's death. That's clear. This is the decision that has just been made by North Korea. No promotion of Zionism. You must not speak in favor of the state of Israel. If you do, it's as if you've bought yourself a ticket to eternal rest. So this decision is part of a long tradition of rejecting the state of Israel. It must be said that for a very long time, North Korea has rejected the state of Israel. Pyongyang considers the state of Israel to be illegitimate. And Pyongyang sees the state of Israel as a satellite of American imperialism. So, Kim Jong-un detests Westerners, especially America. They can't stand them. They believe that America is trying to impose its dominion over all the countries in the world. And to do this, America has states that it uses as tools. The first tool that America has is Israel. So, no, North Korea is allergic to Israel. As for the United States, that's a whole other story. And you already know about the conflict that exists between North Korea and South Korea. There you have it. While America supports South Korea against North Korea. We saw under the rule of the former South Korean president how many times the loudspeakers blared, right? He used loudspeakers that he placed at the border. But we don't even know in which factory those loudspeakers were made. Yet he set them up on his territory. From North Korean territory, you could hear words of slander and defamation about Kim Jong-un. It didn't stop there. He sent leaflet balloons, meaning they made flyers, put them into big balloons, and launched them into North Korea, where they would fall, and people would pick up these leaflets that contain nothing but discredit and condemnation. directed at President Kim Jong. And that really hurts Kim Jong-un. So things are not going well between North Korea and South Korea. And America supports South Korea. And at the same time, America firmly supports Israel. So you see, we're in a game of alliances. If you're with my enemy, then you're my enemy too. It's clear. There you have it. And so that's the stance. So what should we say at this point? Please share the video conference with me. This new decree, which highlights the intensification of North Korea's rhetoric and actions against Israel, further aligns the country's foreign and domestic policy with a fiercely anti-Zionist stance. So what are the geopolitical implications then of this decision? Obviously, quite naturally, there will be geopolitical implications. Speaking of these geopolitical implications, the announcement has significant geopolitical consequences because it reinforces the already existing and ongoing tensions between North Korea and the international community, especially the Western community. In many Western countries, the death penalty has been abolished. There are even ongoing campaigns regularly conducted to permanently put an end to what is known as the death penalty. But if he implements this in his own country, and for what reason? For an offense that others don't even consider to be an offense. There you have it. So, in the eyes of observers from the Western community, this measure is yet another example of human rights violations in North Korea, where freedom of expression and thought are non-existent. Yes, that's what Western community observers are saying, So, labeling Zionism as a capital crime is seen as an extension of the regime's ideological repression and raises serious concerns about the treatment of individuals suspected of anti-state or anti-revolutionary activities. What remains clear, and this was to be expected, is that international observers were bound to oppose it, especially human rights advocates. So there is a renewed tension between North Korea and the international community. Will this lead to a wave of sanctions? Question mark. After this, what will emerge? In any case, we are watching closely. We'll see what happens. And we'll be here to relay the information and analyze it from every angle. With those words, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll be back with more news shortly. There you have it. And even if I won't be here, I might not be very regular because I have to attend the final of the big tournament sponsored by President Théa, which is Meti, was organized in Koya. I'll be there around 4 o'clock. But in any case, I'll be here with you, I'll be back. Thank you all. This was the voice of your one and only Samouraï.